What makes men stare but never approach? It's always the idea of being perceived as a creep that deters me from approaching a woman. Sometimes a stare is just a stare. If you want them to approach, please give a gesture. Many men are indecisive and afraid of rejection, including myself. Flashbacks from everything that went wrong the last time. If the girl isn't interested, the guy is instantly labeled as a creep or something. He may not be staring at you. One time, my dad was waiting in a parking lot and a couple came in and parked with an early 1980s Jeep Wagoneer with the wood grain sides and in excellent condition. The couple got out and noticed my dad's gaze. The girl turned and gave dad a gesture of disapproval when they were walking away. My dad yelled out the window in a loud and clear voice, "I don't mean to burst your bubble, girl, but I was looking at the Jeep." The boyfriend seemed to like the comment much more than she did. Some men fear rejection, but that's the least of our problems now. Now not only do we get rejected, but we get blasted all over social media. My suggestion is that if you find a guy looking at you and you wouldn't initially say no, then you approach him. Rejection and being labeled a creep. From personal experience, fear of rejection, or worse, a full-blown phobia of rejection with actual panic attacks that are so nasty that it causes physical pain to even attempt to ask someone out. Catastrophically low self-esteem and confidence. Neediness to the point of starvation for affection, where even a hint of someone being interested gets our hopes up to only have those hopes shattered. Loneliness to the point of clinical depression. Self-sabotage to the point of avoidant personality disorder. All of these things making us practically undateable, unfuckable, worthless, empty, broken. Do you never go to the mall just to look? Going counter to a repeated comment in this thread, if you would like to be approached, don't give a hint or gesture. How about you approach him? Numerous reasons. One being the representation of men in social media. Men who approach women are assumed to be predatory or creepy for merely talking to a woman they don't know yet or being awkward around them. Men putting women on a pedestal. Subscription to the belief that women are inherently more valuable rather than equal to men through conditioning of society, media, etc., and thus we've internalized this bias that the judgment's negative criticism from women is to be held with more importance, which ends up being the root underlying reason why guys are afraid of being rejected when approaching. That's why guys get butthurt when they get rejected. To us, it's not necessarily the advances you are rejecting, but our self-worth ego as men. It's not the fault of women, but the belief space that are reinforced throughout a man's life. Luckily, life is mind game and we can all work on ourselves to overcome such BS limiting beliefs. Short-sightedness usually. I often zone out and stare into space while organizing my thoughts. People will approach and ask what the go. Just vacant. The difference between flirting and being a creep is how attractive she finds you. Because we've approached before and got told we are an AH for doing so. Or even worse. Best advice: if there's a guy you're interested in, make the move. That's way less creepy for you to do it. The thousands of posts by women right here on Reddit that state they hate being approached, perhaps? The statements by millions of women everywhere all saying they don't want to be approached at random times, they just want to get on with their shopping or whatever. The constant stream of "I'm here to work out shopping with my friends, not be hit on" rants we see, toss fear and rejection and reprisal into the mix, and you've got an overwhelming number of guys who are afraid to do anything but stare at the floor in an elevator. Creepiness, sexism, harassment. Getting labeled as creep and lack of self-confidence. Oh, so many wrong things were considered creeps even at saying hello by some individuals. This is enough to not make you want to interact ever again. The fear of rejection or not knowing what to say can be paralyzing. There's also the pressure to make a good first impression, which can amplify insecurities and lead to overthinking. Basically, it's the possibility of not living up to the moment that holds them back.